It's the morning after, people. Ten Hag survives what was our worst ever Premier League season, but he's got another trophy. That seems to have swayed the vote with what was happening at Ineos. I was tired last night. I was reactional. There's a lot being said. I've slept on it. I've brought in extra help to bring in a different point of view. In my man Saeed to go through everything what happens from this point forward. Give the video a like. Subscribe to Forever United TV. We're going straight into the chat. Saeed, mate, welcome back to Forever United TV.
Yeah. Big up, man. How you doing? Yeah, I'm all good, man. Listen, it's a new day. Big up to you guys.
Yeah, it is.
And whatnot. It's a crazy. Yesterday I had a stream ready talking about striker hunt and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then it quickly changed in a matter of, I think was maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes while I was in the stream. Boom, mate. Just like that, bro. 10 p.m. on a Monday night. It's crazy, isn't it? Like.
Mate, I said, you know what? They did it to us Christmas Eve with the announcement of Ineos, 10 p.m. Midway through the bleeding week. I tell you what, one thing that we are going to have to get used to with Ineos is actually not expecting announcements to come out at a decent time, mate. We just got to expect the unexpected right now. So, obviously, Saeed, you're expecting a bit of a backlash in your chat, in my chat. I got it both ends of the barrel yesterday as well. At the end of the day, it's all opinions, and we just want the club to do right by us, the fans, and give us the best quality football for our money. We're match-going fans, and we spend a fortune, mate. But let's go back to the scenario where it was. You just said yourself then, you was on a stream, it all changed, it hit the fan. Initial thoughts, just what came into your head when this happened, Saeed, in terms of Ineos' stance on this, and what you thought might have been their process, their thought process in making this decision?
Hey, I think they bottled it, man. That's what I think. You know, I'll be real with you. The first thing that I thought when the news got revealed is that they bottled it, and I just don't understand still to this day, right now, the morning after or the day after, that why have they kept him? That's my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying to you? Because I looked at the review, I looked at the pros and the cons, I looked at everything and I analysed. Right, he's won the FA Cup, but they've never hired him, so it's easy to get rid of him. They've actually gone behind his back and interviewed several managers that supposedly wanted the job. Okay, Tuchel didn't happen and certain other managers didn't happen, but they went and interviewed other people. So how does then he become your manager? And then going one further, then you say, right, we're going to back him with a new contract. Okay, new contracts don't really mean anything, but on paper it does. On paper it says, yo, you're backing him, you're rewarding him. And I just, for me, don't understand that. And listen, everybody can say, well, he's won the FA Cup, but I'm sorry, man. You know what I mean? Like the Coventry game, did you not watch that? You know what I'm saying? Yes, full credit to Ten Hag. He won the FA Cup, but there was also circumstances going to it. I was like, well, hold on a minute. You know what I mean? We could have nearly been out here. But I just look at it from my point of view as, for me, he had to go, Adam. You know, the season, we saw it. All that season we've had to one FA Cup game and then you decide to keep him. I don't get it. And I just don't understand what they've come to in terms of logic. You know, it's a big decision they've made. They're going to have to back him in the summer massively. You know what I mean? They're going to have to die on their sword. But I just know what I'm going to get next season, Adam. I don't think Ineos backing makes a manager become better. I don't, personally, for me. So it's a big decision, man. It's a big call. It really, really is. It's a big call. So we'll find out, man. It's going to be a crazy, crazy year next year. I'll tell you that, man.
It is.
Or this year, should I say.
Oh, God, you say that again. Couple of super chats. Space Oddie says, you guys would have been Fergie must go. Literally, this is the thing. Honestly,
how are you comparing him to Fergie? Are you seriously? One of the greatest managers ever, and you're comparing to Fergie? What are you doing?
This is where I draw the line with people coming in on me. Like, I don't have the whole debate thing regarding what it was like before. I just can't have that personally. But another super chat in. Saeed, what was the miracle manager you were waiting for? Name your candidates. Tuchel out, Poch out. You want Southgate? Question mark. What do you want? I mean, do you know what? Sorry, just aside from the super chats there. Cheers for them guys. Anyway, can you look at this now and the new contract side of things? Let's talk about that. I looked at it, and honestly, I'm like you last night. I'm not sleeping. Honestly, my head's spinning.
I didn't sleep last night.
I'm going through all permutations and everything, mate. This is what this football club does to you when they play. when the pre-season starts, like, oh, get yourself some calms and some sleeping tablets because it ain't happening because it stresses you out even more. So I looked at it and I thought, right, okay, this has to change. And if there is a new contract, I don't think Ten Hag's the manager, mate. I don't. And by that, I mean there's no such thing as a manager at Manchester United anymore. This is a head coach. He's losing all of his, let's just say, responsibilities and power that he had last season.
Yep.
The reports that I'm reading is that all of the transfer negotiations and responsibility and recruitment is being taken away from Ten Hag now.
Yeah.
In terms of this, Saeed, going into the summer, is this a case of Ineos saying, look, we've backed you. You go and show us what you can do by creating on the pitch right now?
Yes. I still think, you know, when people say, like, it's a backing, it's still, I think, what's the word?
Test.
Like, he's still auditioning.
Trial,
Yeah, trial. Yeah, it's a trial. It still is a trial because at the end of the day, he still needs to prove to them what he can improve. The review must have been as well that they need to see massive improvements in terms of style of play, consistency in style of play as well. Not just doing it for 5 games and then disappearing again. Not having a manager of the month award against Luton and them teams and them, oh yeah, everything's back to rosy. No, you now need to see an actual philosophy and a style that's imprinted week in, week out. And I don't mean every single time it has to be there. 75% of the team needs to be playing that style of football. It needs to go down to the squad as well. When we do have injuries, what's your plan? Yeah? So when we do go down to injuries, what are we doing? Are we making excuses? Training methods? There needs to be so many players being integrated as well into your style as well. No player favorites, no this, that. You know, so we need to see that in the pitch. And that unity can only come from developing in training. What do we do in training as well? So I think for me, that's a big, big thing that they need to see. But again, I don't think it's going to happen overnight. And I don't think a manager changes like that. I see the manager be so naive in games when he had his players available. There was games when he had his players available and we got pumped 3, 4, whatever you want to call it. So it's a big, big leap.
I'm going to touch on something
you really
I'm going to touch on something you said there, mate, because in my deep thought last night and thinking with everything that was going on, I'll come to the super chats in a minute, guys. Cheers again. And I was thinking last night, so I went through it. I've always been beating the drum like I think it personally, Saeed, I think it comes down to the type of person and character that you are, what you are in your life. Everyone's got a football opinion, what they think is good football and what's not. That can differ from person to person. But I'm someone who was brought up with you cannot use excuses. You cannot use things that have gone wrong as an excuse. You get on and you do exactly what you can do and deal with the situation. What can you do to make the best out of the situation? Don't blame others. First 24 games of the season, Saeed, absolutely crucial because we dropped out the Champions League, the Carabao Cup and the Premier League in the first 24 games. We lost 12 of them games.
I know.
And we had 2 fit centre-backs with 2 centre-backs on the pitch in all of them games. And we had full-backs in them games because we had Reguilon at that point. But the issue I've got with people banging the drum about Ten Hag and the injury side of things, and this is just, it's really, guys, honestly, I'm not having a dig at this. It's just me and my own personal outlook on how I just don't like to use excuses. I just want to get back out there and do everything I possibly can in that situation to make it better. And I just think he was too stubborn to do it. And now the question comes, Saeed, like, is he going to change? You just said then the leopard doesn't change his spots and what you were saying. Ten Hag is still Ten Hag. Do you think with the structure above him, he is now going to work better with Ineos above him? Do you feel like, in terms of what we're dealing with, because we have to accept it, looking forward, do you feel like he's got a chance with a structure above him and less responsibilities and he can just concentrate on the pitch? Do you think that might change anything in how he looks at what he does and he can maybe concentrate on Carrington, the training ground tactics, and more of the stuff with, let's be honest to him and fair to him, the carnage which has been going on while he's been Man United manager at least?
Yeah, no, I agree in that aspect. Like, you know, having a structure above you can help you, you know, in terms of the decision making. Like, he could just focus on the training. He could have focus on improving the players in hand rather than sorting out recruitment, rather than having to liaise with John Mill beforehand and these guys. You know, he will have to be concentrating on the training ground. He will have more time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that aspect is key. I think also not having involvement in the recruitment process is a massive key for himself as well, because his talent ID, let's be honest with you, has been very, very hit and miss. You know, a lot more misses than hits at the minute. You know what I mean? When you look at it, only Sancho can you confidently say has been a very, very good hit. You know, everyone else, you kind of like, it's not where it works out. I think in that aspect, yes. But I think the biggest one for me is the idea of, you know, when he does get them players, if they don't see there's an improvement in the style of play, it's like, what's going on here? You're here to coach, and can he do that? We haven't been able to see him do that a lot of times. He brought in Amrabat late. He brought in Amad Diallo late. There was a lot of players that you were thinking to yourself, right, what's this guy's not playing? What's going on here? So there's a lot of things in and outs, but the biggest one is tactically, can he get Man United playing the right type of football, especially with Joe Wilcox there as well? He's going to be key in this. He's going to be like, yo, I need you to play this style of football. And if you can't do that, then it could be October, November, where, again, it could be chopping block, because it's a backing, but it could easily be a sacking.
Yeah, it is a weird scenario, because it doesn't feel like a full-on backing to me. Do you know what? And obviously, again, my head's running over time. I'm thinking like Ineos are backing him here. I could actually see a summer where United don't spend a lot of money here, and Ineos go, okay,
a lot of people said that, you know.
We have kept you. Do they want to invest in who I see? And I'm going to give my honest opinion here. Ten Hag can stay. He's in place now. We're going to get behind him next season. We move on. We deal with it. Personally, I don't think he's the one to bring the title to United. I've said this before, even with other managers, not just Ten Hag. I think he's a stepping stone to another manager, which I think we're going to need to get to winning titles. So Ten Hag's going to get his chance to show Ineos. I just don't think they're going to overspend with him. I think they're going to be very careful in what money is spent this summer, and then just test Ten Hag and see, because Ten Hag's thing this season is we can compete when everybody's fit. Now, obviously, you can't determine if injuries are going to happen. If you add 2 or 3 players to this squad and back the areas where we need a bit more strength in depth, then Ten Hag, going off what he has said, he should be able to get United back in the Champions League spots at least, Saeed. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, 100%. 100% he has to. You know what I mean? But again, I think for me, the biggest thing is as well, building a brand of football that everybody can enjoy watching as well, and that consistency in that brand of football. Yeah, that entertainment factor, I think that's gone missing. People are not enjoying watching football anymore, you know what I'm saying? But also what you alluded to before there, though, because I feel like that pressure of delivering for me is key as well. Not having that feeling of, you know what, fourth is the aim and whatnot, but it's also how you stumble across it as well. We can't be going in this kind of back and forth with Chelsea on the last day of the season and whatnot. Like, we need to be seeing that, like a Villa, where they've been consistently great for the whole season. Do that, you know, because a gap, as much as it's big, you know what I mean, we have been playing poorly in games where we've given games away, like Crystal Palace, like them games where we should have been beating these teams. Let's be honest. They're not teams that they should be beating us. So in that aspect, yes, the gap is big, but also I believe the coaching has been one of the reasons why the gap has been so big in that aspect, because we haven't been seeing the coaching available. So, you know, I think it's a massive, massive key thing. But also as well, the Europa League as well is going to be another thing as well this season. Thursday, Sunday, how do you manage that? How do you navigate? Does he rest players now? That's one big thing that nobody talks about. That season, we didn't rest any players. Hardly. That Europa League season, oh my God, it killed us, man. Killed us.
It. Do you know what? After this is like the conundrum now. I'm looking ahead. Like we're trying to navigate how Manchester United under Ten Hag now get the best out of next season. I think it is going to come, and you made a good point about the Europa League. I think it's going to come, and Jose did this. You have to commit. You commit to the Prem, or you commit to the Europa League. It's incredibly difficult to do both. And I think Villa found that out. They collapsed towards the end, just about had enough to get in and over the line into the top 4. And you fall away. You absolutely do fall away. It's too much. It's too many games. And I look at it and I go, Ten Hag doesn't rest players. He plays his strongest team whenever he can. Is this now where he changes tacts and learns and starts playing other players? I look at it and I go, do you know what? I think in a weird way, like no one in the Premier League is going to fall backwards. Everyone above us is going to improve. You can forget the top two. So there's 2 places to fight for. And we've got Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs, Villa, and Liverpool in front of us, who are all better than us. Table doesn't lie, true. And you look at it and go, is the Europa League, with United and our cup record, which everybody who's backed Ten Hag will say is the best, it is, because we keep getting to finals and going far in cups, is our best option going all in on Europa League football next season as well, Saeed?
I mean, bro, that again, like I said, man, I think he's a cup. This is why I believe that he actually will win the Europa League. I think he's a cup manager. I think he's someone that will take that seriously more than the Premier League. That's what I believe anyway, for me personally. So
I think we've got a chance, mate, personally.
Yeah. Especially that now that teams can't go down, drop in from the Champions League. That's a big plus as well. And also, I looked at the teams. They don't really scare me. You know what I mean? They're not like, yo, we're going to...
Mate, we just beat Liverpool and City in a cup to win the FA Cup. So we can beat anyone. Like, there's no one better.
No, you know what I mean? But again, like I said to you, if we're set up right and we actually do what we need to do, we can win them one-off games, you know? So that is that. But again, Ineos, the Premier League bread and butter, you can't just... You know what it is for me? It's how you just leave it exposed and you just kind of neglect it. If we neglect the Premier League in a way where it's, bro, we're finishing 8th and 9th, then, bro, come on, man. That can't happen, man. If it's a kind of a 4th or 5th and we still made Champions League football and we got the Europa League and we won it, then you could say fair enough. But you can't neglect it the way you do and just absolutely the season derails and then you're almost waiting on that game again. It's almost like the game against FA Cup game. You're waiting on that final to be like, yo, is he staying? Is he going? We can't surely be having that again next season where it's one game to determine his future, whether he stays or not. And then you got the whole summer of a review, and then it's like, oh, is he got... Bro, nah, you can't do that.
You need an identity, don't you?
You need an identity. You need a consistent identity saying, right, this is what we are. We're known as this as well. Because the rivals are also the ones that are laughing right now as well. Because they're saying, Ten Hag is... they got the song. People sing the song, Old Trafford is falling down. Like, we don't want to be hearing that because ultimately what we see on the football pitch is an example, is an embodiment of the culture that's been set up. So if we see proper style of football, I don't think anybody complains. My thing is, Adam, I'm not Ten Hag out because of a lack of trophies. I'm Ten Hag out because I don't like the guy's style of play. I've said it before. I'm not about results. I'm about consistency in the way we play football. Pride. Man United have to have pride in the way they play. We're not Stoke. We're not a team like Burnley or someone else that might sit off teams. We're not doing that. We are a team that needs to play with swagger. Swagger.
And I think the difference in that there is that you mentioned them before in Aston Villa. They just got spanked at the end of the season. They got drummed 5-0 at Palace, but no one cares. Because they had a style of play and they knew they just basically ran out of steam. Manchester United we've had that all along. Just going back to the super chats from earlier on, sorry guys. Space Oddie says, it's not a comparison to Fergie, it's about asking to sack a manager immediately after a bad season. I'll flip that and say our worst ever season. That's why the debate is there, mate, on that one. And SSS says, you two are ducking the question, who was your candidate? Well, if you watch my channel, mine was always Nagelsmann, then it went to Tuchel. I think both of them are better than Ten Hag. That's just my opinion on that. But obviously, I, like every other Manchester United fan, have to accept the club's decision and move forward, which is why these debate shows are not here for people to pick at and say that we won the Ten Hag in or out competition. It's not about that. It's about people saying what they watch on the pitch. And there have been many times this season where Ten Hag has tried to convince us we're watching something that we're not.
Yeah, exactly. Gaslighters. I said he's the biggest gaslighter ever.
Honestly, that was my big thing with him last season, and everybody knows that. Like, I had a big issue with what he was saying, of like the delusional comments that were coming out. I had media journalists telling to me, like, sometimes you sat there and the only thing that comes into your head is just pure delusional responses from Ten Hag. Like, what are you actually trying to convince us we're watching here? But a couple more super chats. Space Oddy again. One day after we finally know who's our manager and the start of next season, you two are sitting here counting every bad fact about our manager. Thanks for uniting our fans, guys. Hey, look, you've got your opinion. We're just stating facts. If you don't like facts, then I'm sorry, then life's not for you with that. But facts hurt more than anything. They do. But in every single comment we've made, we've always looked ahead to what we do next and why. So maybe you should pick out the good points that we've said instead of picking out the negatives, in a bit of a contradiction in your super chat. But cheers for the super chat anyway, Space Hardy. I like that. Mark, who's been a member 5 months, thank you, mate, for that. I'm sorry, but we beat top teams because the players put in the effort. We would have gone through in Champions League if Anana was a keeper. He got us knocked out of that. Players need to do more in lesser games. Get yourselves up for every single game and understand the team you're playing for, Saeed. Can Ten Hag get that message across? Because beating Liverpool and City, like Mark says there, he's dead right. Oh. That's easy to get yourself up for it. But I'll tell you what, Al Pacino videos and videos from families before an FA Cup final against your local rivals is not going to happen every single week.
Every single week, man.
You need to get that message across. And if the players don't look like they're up for it, it comes across to the manager. Which moves us on to the player side of things, really, Saeed.
Yeah.
Ten Hag is in. Now let's get through these players. We're hearing that Greenwood to Juventus. We're hearing about Sancho definitely going. Yeah. The Greenwood one's an interesting one, Saeed, isn't it? Like 50 million, apparently the price tag's been set.
Yeah. Yep. I think for me as well, you got to remember, this is a sale that will have to happen. You know what I mean? Because obviously the circumstances and whatnot. So I think for me, this one should be an easy one to do. You know what I mean? Juventus are keen on him. 50 million, I think it's a fair price. That's a full profit. You're not lost out on anything. He came from the academy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, Juventus, you know what I mean? I don't know where they're getting the money from, you know what I mean, personally, because I thought they were in financial issues, but they need to cough up the 50 million, mate. You know what I mean? And we move on because we need to generate sales. I think this summer might be the summer of generating sales and then going from there. You know what I'm saying? So for me, Greenwood is someone that, again, won't be coming to Man United. Everybody knows that, whether you want to cry about it or not. He isn't going to come back. And, with 50 million, I think it's a decent price. Considering what's happened, considering he hasn't played football for 2 years, considering the fact that he won't ever come back, 50 million, I'm not going to cry about that. I think that's a fair price to go and get him for.
I'd jump. I'd snatch their hands 100%. Off, mate. I'd snatch their hands right off right now. At the end of the day, I was thinking like 35, 40 million max, get rid of. If they can get 50 million for Greenwood, then wow. Yeah. It's definitely swimming the channel there, and that definitely helps us with financial fair play and going into the coffers for reinvesting into the squad. Yeah. Quick comment in the chat there. Adam, your chat is so divided, it's crazy. That's big
good,
decisions.
That's good, though.
That's what this is. Like, everyone is split. Like, this is
not an echo chamber. No. I don't like my channel's not an echo chamber. Like, we want people to have different opinions. It becomes boring when you have a channel and everyone's disagreeing with each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what life is about.
That's what football debate is about, mate.
Yeah.
Football debate is king. That's what everyone's invested in. It's like, you go and we must speak to thousands of people all season, mate. All over the world.
When they say, right, do you reckon they've listened to social media or do you reckon they've looked at the crowd? Because you've been to Old Trafford and it's not been a harmonious place, man. It's been very, very, like edge, anxious. So I just don't know if they've actually listened to the fans or they've just kind of been like, you know what, we kind of bottled it and ultimately it is what it is and we're just going to start fresh and it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean, bro? Like, I don't know, man. I'm a bit kind of like,
you know what, mate? The intrigue and the unknown is exciting a little bit as to what's going to happen next season. I can't lie. Yeah. I can't lie. I'm looking forward to seeing how he changes because he has to. I'm looking forward to seeing how Ineos actually back him because right now, and by the way, guys, please give the video a like. We're way down considering how many people are in the room with us. So everybody, please give the video a like. It's good.
Like the video,
football debate, and that's what we love. Weren't you pro Erik Ten Hag out not so long ago? Why the change? I didn't change, Squire. I've not seen you for a while, so you might not have seen the videos in between, and we're not inviting people on to jump onto what they might have heard a while ago. I don't like Ten Hag's football. I think there were better out there. As the process went on, there wasn't, and in the end, I wasn't happy with De Zerbi, Southgate, Potter. I didn't want any of the managers, I'm going to say. But looking ahead, I feel like this now is moved away from Ten Hag. I think this is going to be the last conversation that we have about Ten Hag all summer, Saeed. Now, it's on Ineos. They're the ones who've made this decision. And now everybody's eyes are focused solely on the ownership and the new sporting control. When's Dan Ashworth arriving? Omar Barada, what's his first job? How are they going to back him? Who the first signing's going to be? I just feel like everyone now, it's like that Lord of the Rings scene, isn't it? When someone puts the ring on, the eye just focuses on them. It just pans across Middle Earth onto someone new, and it's like, oh shit, it's my turn now to get all the scrutiny. Well, I've said this yesterday. Welcome to United, Ineos. Now the whole fan base is looking at you. What have you got next? But that is what it is now, Said, isn't it? Everyone is now going to be saying, okay, Ineos, what's your next move?
Yeah, what's your next move? What are you now planning to do to help Ten Hag succeed, innit? That's the biggest thing now. What are the steps you're going to take in terms of recruitment? Are you going to make his signings early? You know what I mean? What's going on with the Elise situation? What's happening with Casemiro, the outs? You know, what's happening with Dan Ashworth? Is he coming in? You know, what's the role of Omar Barada? You know what I mean? Like, was he part of also as well? Who was part of the process in sacking the manager? Oh, sorry, keeping the manager. Was it Omar Barada? Was he happy? Like, we want to know everything, man. Like, that has to become clear. I want to know as well, what's the ethos of the football club in terms of Ineos? Like, why are they different to Glazers? You know, what's their remit? Where do they see this football club? You know what I mean? Do they want to see results or do they want to see style? Like, or is it in between? Is it both? So there's a lot of things that for me, by the way, I'm not Ineos out. There's a lot of people, who are Ineos out. I get it. I understand that. I am not Ineos out because for me, to be saying Ineos out on their first decision would be ludicrous, isn't it? It goes against everything what we're trying to do. But I am also Ineos watching. I'm more kind of like eyes, you best be on your job now because you back this manager. And if you flip-flop in October and we can't get a good appointment and we got a whole Ragnick situation again and we got leaks coming out, what's really changed? So that's where I'm looking at, you know what I mean? So them little things here and there, Adam, I'm looking for finer details now as to why you're different to the Glazers. And if I see that, then obviously I'll be a bit more happier. But if I don't, and I see this rumblings going on and this discontent, then of course nothing's really changed. Yeah. So I'm not Ineos out, but I'm Ineos. I'm watching you. I'm now like, you gotta come correct. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is it. Ten Hag has got the job, new coaching role.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he can do, say, or anything now. Ten Hag only comes into the picture once the season starts and we're a few months in and we're seeing what the football is. Ten Hag is done. It's finished. Yeah. We've now got him in charge and hopefully, I mean, you look at it, Side, there are many problems that Ineos need to sort out now for Ten Hag. Straight away, we went into the Greenwood situation there. Ten Hag was always open to Greenwood. It looked like Ineos were as well. It just looks like the hand has been forced in the Greenwood side. But Jadon Sancho right now, I think we can say goodbye to him officially. The club have said either way anyway. But what do you reckon we can get for Jadon Sancho?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I want 50 million. I'll be real with you. I know
that's
a lot
of favourite price, isn't it now?
50 million, man. Rate. Because you know what it is. If it was only Dortmund, I would have said, you know what? Let's just take what we can get here because there's not many. But I'm hearing that other clubs are coming after him. So I'm like, let's start a bidding war. Why is it always Man United are the ones that are being getting dealt by the wrong kind of card? Like, bro, why is it us? Like, why are we always getting shafted? Why don't we shaft now other people? Let's go and get a bidding war started because there's multiple clubs involved. Right, if you're offering 40, we're starting it at 40 million. Right, you go and offer 45. And he's like, no, we'll offer 50 million. Start a bidding war and get 50 million out of him. Because 30 million is not going to do anything for us. Let's be honest, man. Like 30 million, are you seriously out of your... He can do what he did at Dortmund. He can produce a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So there is still a player there. But again, go and get the money. And Ineos, you've not spent the 70 million. So now you go recuperate. For you, it's a profit because that's money going to you, mate. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm of that. I'm of that thinking as well. Like in terms of people moaning about losing on Jadon Sancho, 50 million is a profit.
Yeah,
and that's not even on starting from fresh now. 50 million, having played 3 seasons, and let's not forget we got nearly 10 million euros out of the loan move. From Dortmund this season as well. So that's already come off. If you're getting 40, 50 million, you're getting your money back pretty much because he's been here 3 seasons. Yeah, he may not have played for half of a season because of last year, but he's been here that long. In terms of football finance, Jadon Sancho actually could come out as a profit here. And Manchester United don't look too bad at all. And all of a sudden, things like that, moments like that, decisions like that, Saeed, you're looking at Ineos in a different light. You're going, okay, right, now I've seen something positive. I've seen us actually act on the backing of the manager by getting one of the players which has really made his life difficult out and getting a profit for it as well at the same time. So, we're not losing anything in Sancho and Greenwood. They've contributed jack shit. I would say for Sancho, didn't contribute much last year either, personally, but they're not contributing at all to the football team. It's 100% profit every which way you look at it. It's just how much we get, really, out of this deal from Ineos, because we can just invest that in any position on the pitch, I feel, right now. And that's important, I feel. Not a make weight, not a swap deal for another player in a similar position. Get your money and then go and invest it where it's more desperately needed.
100%. I mean, I'm looking at the forwards. I think we need a striker 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need another winger, but again, I'm not sure what will happen with the situation. Whether Rashford will improve, I don't know. Again, we're having another season of Rashford and whatever.
Honestly, I'd get if it's like when people said, "Look what Ten Hag can do," but the players did it as well, Saeed, in the final.
Yeah,
I've always had that shout. So it's like players that everyone went out and said, "But the problem, it wasn't Ten Hag, were actually playing in that final as well." So who is it? Who the hell is it? Like Sancho and Greenwood didn't contribute anything, and we still got that win. So is this squad good enough? Is what we're saying, and how much are Ineos actually going to invest in it? I think. Cover for certain positions, yes. I honestly see 3 to 4 signings, and that's it, Saeed. How many do you reckon? I know what we need.
I personally want 6, but I don't. Yeah. People saying I'm asking for too much, but I genuinely think we need 2 midfielders.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
2 centre backs, 1 striker, and 1 left back. So, they're all things that we need. But again, what will we keep Johnny Evans, and we're going to use Kambuala as Varane's replacement, and then bring in 1 centre back. So that means we'll get 5 signings, 2 midfielders I need, because Casemiro's going to go, and Eriksen probably will leave as well. That's 2 midfielders. And if we sign Amrabat, that's 1 then, isn't it, already? So we buy 1 more after that. Then you go and get a forward. We need a striker to help out Højlund, because Martial's left. Left back, because I don't trust Luke Shaw to stay fit. And you know what I mean? And dare I say, I don't know. It's going to be a situation where we end up having players that can play multiple roles. Kambuala, if a Todibo comes in, he can play right back as well. Maybe they look at this as a summer to buy players that are multifunctional rather than best in their position. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting summer as to what they're planning to do, but they have to back him. But for me as well, I don't want to be seeing certain players still here, man. And I've got a weird feeling that there's a lot of players that the fans have been divided on are still going to be at the football club. Are still going to be here. And that is crazy. Then we're going to have a situation where we're talking about these players come mid-January or whatever it is, or mid-October, December. Why are they still here? What's happening? The squad's still the same. Well, hold on a minute. I thought we were changing things. So
that's
mad.
it. I mean,
it's actually mad.
Yeah, Squire just said there, look at the retain list. The retain list means absolutely nothing.
No, nothing.
Because within that retain list, there is also a stipulation that certain players may be added to it and offered new deals. Tom Heaton, Johnny Evans, and Kambuala being 3 of them players. So I expect all of them to be at Manchester. We actually know that Heaton and Evans have been offered new deals already.
Yeah.
I honestly cannot see them turning them deals down. Billionaire Coffee says with a super chat, are you guys happy with Southgate if Erik Ten Hag leaves? No one's happy with Southgate. I think everyone's made that very clear. We don't care for Southgate, apart from maybe getting something for England this summer. But yeah, stay in international football, Gareth. That's where you belong. Definitely not in the Premier League, in my opinion. I mean, Johnny Evans, Kambuala, I think both will stay. I think we'll buy another centre-back. I want 2 centre-backs, personally, me, Saeed. I would get I would get 2 with Evans and Kambuala actually signing deals. I would sell Victor Lindelof in a heartbeat. Maybe if we get a decent price for Harry Maguire, we may there. What do you think to Debo being Ten Hag's top target now as a centre-half? Do we start seeing deals that Ten Hag wanted before happen, or do we see the power of Ineos coming in? Is this a show of strength now? Because with Maguire left, it was well reported that Todibo was going to be his replacement. Now Ten Hag is in place. If Maguire does get sold this summer, I personally don't think he will. If he does, then we're in it's 1-1 Lindelof of Maguire. That's why I'm saying that. But I think this is going to be a big test, and we're going to know as fans where Ineos stand with Ten Hag and what his role actually is. Because if it is Todibo, then I just feel like it's the easy option. Like someone we already know wants to come from last summer's negotiations. Obviously, the connection with Nice, the cheapest of all of the centre-backs out there. I just think they could make a statement here and actually go for the better player rather than the easiest one.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a no-brainer, Todibo. I genuinely do. I think he's at a good relative price. He's multifunction. Like I said, he can play right back and centre-back. I think he's someone that, when you look at centre-backs now, I don't think it's something that you need to spend like hugely on. I always look at centre-backs, don't go above 40 million. If you're spending more than 40 million for a centre-back, it's crazy, man, because I think it's the one position that there's a lot of them out there. It's not just the one or two maybe positions where they're a dying breed. Like strikers now are at a premium now because they're a dying breed. You're getting more inside forwards rather than anything. So I would go in with Todibo because I just think for me it's Nice as well. Which if they say who they are, they negotiate that quickly, and also it's not as if there's other teams in for him at this minute. So you can get this wrapped up. I don't know if is he going to the Euros?
Nope, he's not. He can't get in that French squad. It's too strong.
Oh, is he in the Olympic squad or is he not?
No, too old. I think you have to be under a certain age, don't you? So that's like it opens up for Ineos to get business done while the Euros is on, because that's seen as a no-go area. Well, the Euros is on, nothing happens because all the best, is playing, and we got the Copa America as well. Then so all the South American players, all the best in Europe are all in this tournament. But there are the odd one that actually can get a deal done for. And that's what I was talking about Xerxes yesterday. He's not gone with the Dutch squad. I don't know if he'll be drafted in now De Jong's come out. I think they'll just find another midfielder personally. But,
they'll get another midfielder.
But he's not at the Euros. 2 targets at United that actually we could get the deals done for on the quiet while the Euros is actually going on. So that's interesting. Sanil, thanks for that super chat. Thanks for accepting different opinions, Adam. This is what it's all about,
always,
mate.
Always, man.
Always, what it's all about. Let me just check. Keep them likes coming in, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Get your comments and questions coming in as well. We'll open it up to a few of your comments and questions as we get towards the end of the show. What's your opinion on Luke Shaw blaming the medical staff at United for his absence? He blamed himself as well, I would say, in the same comments. But like Saeed says there,
I'm just tired of it, man. 10 years in, man, we're still talking about like all of this stuff, man.
I think he is one player that, do you know what? On his day, fantastic. But he is one of the problem players, Saeed, right now, I feel. We have to move on, don't we?
Yes, we have to move him on. I think everybody's tired of hearing Luke Shaw on his day, this and that, and who to blame. He's been here 10 years now, and we're talking about a situation where we can't rely on him. That's why they're going to buy left back. That's why left back is a crucial acquisition this summer. So, whether he becomes a centre back now and he has a bit of a position change, and also the fact that he can, reserve a bit of energy, that he doesn't have to go up and down, that might help his game and might be another part of his career, So, for me, it has to be now that we're having this conversation. It needs to stop, man. Luke Shaw, just get on with it, man. Just stay fit.
100%. An interesting one I wanted to ask you, mate, because there's been a lot of debate and it's been a hot topic recently with Bruno Fernandes. I personally think this news that happened last night and Ten Hag staying cements Bruno to Manchester United. I think a new deal will be done now, and another possible saga that could have dragged on. I think Ineos will do well in putting this to bed quite quickly and dealing with this situation while they can now. Well, the Euros is on. They can get to work on contract situations, really deep dive into issues within the current playing staff. Because do you know what? Like every single United fan we spot, even you say, like, honestly, when it comes to targets and people coming in, they don't give a toss. It is literally all about who's going. Like that's the main. That's the first summer where I've gone in, and all anyone's talking about. There's no sagas of players coming in. It's just the saga, possibly, of what players we can get out of this squad right now. And that's the big thing, I think, in all of this. And that just shows you how things have flipped around with United and the fan base. It has got to be the summer, the first one under Ineos, where they make a statement in getting players out. Bruno Fernandes, definitely for me. I've always been a supporter of him. I know you've had your issues with him. I have a lot of people on my channel who really don't like Bruno Fernandes. I think he's a Marmite player,
where's
mate.
Ricky? Ricky's the one as well.
I know Rick has got a big issue with him, but he is pure Marmite, innit?
He is. I've always said that. Is that Marmite? You either back him or you're kind of like, oh, bloody hell, man, he annoys the hell out of you. I'm just more concerned about the contract. If he's getting 300 grand a week, which I think for me, nobody should be getting.
Good point. Good point, because this is a chance for Ineos to draw the line with big deals. He's on 240 now. If they give him another deal, that's send him into 32, 33 on nearly 300 grand a week if they give him a bumper deal. So, again, like we just said, it's not just a case of putting this to bed with Bruno Fernandes, but it's a chance for Ineos to actually set the standard with contracts on big players. Unfortunately for Bruno, if Ed Woodward was still here, he'd have been on a bumper deal because he's probably earned it more than anyone else who's got these big deals. But unfortunately, Ineos have come in at the wrong time for Bruno, I feel, and I think he isn't going to get much more. I think he should be on more than Mason Mount, don't get me wrong. But honestly, I don't think he's going to get the Rashford deal, Saeed. I don't think he's getting it, mate. And I think it's a chance for Ineos to actually just stamp their authority on it and go, right, oh, Jesus, everyone's watching here now. It's like the captain's not getting a new deal. The one man who has put up the numbers and give absolutely everything for Manchester United, who's never injured, who is consistent, always there, and he's not getting a big deal, then I think it sets the tone. And
it does.
I think that then filters down into everybody else. And people coming into the club and agents looking in at United now will go, maybe this isn't the free-for-all that we once had before when it was Arnold, Murto and Woodward and co.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think the whole club right now is just, when you deep it, like, it's been such a mess for so many years. Like, so many players is getting contract. And you know what's funny enough? Like, Rashford and Shaw are lucky they got the contract just before Ineos came, and
both of them
settled. Yeah, they're very, very lucky. Like, Rashford is very, very lucky, because I don't think he would have got a contract like that if he was, if the Ineos was still there. They wouldn't have done that. So that precedent has to be set. Varana's left, Ronaldo left, Casemiro's going to leave soon, Martial's left on 250 a week. Now it's like, we are not where we need to be. If you then say, right, we're now challenging for league titles. Look at Arsenal. They're giving bumper deals now because they're in a title race and they're actually trying to win the league. Then you can say, right, cool, we're aiming to win the league. But now, top 4 and win the Europa League? Nah, we've got to just say, right, we're drawing a line here. And yeah, it's unfortunate. And yeah, you're a key player, but we've just set a precedent and we're not going above that. And if you don't like it, then out the door. Everyone, nobody's bigger than the club. Simple. Nobody's bigger than the club.
That's it. That is it. Sorry, guys, I've lost track of time completely there. We're pretty much at the end of the show. I've got to get out and about. I'm off to Old Trafford to do some recording and filming. Saeed's got plenty to do with himself. Get comments in when the video finishes, guys. Let us know if you want us to keep this up, get a bit of a collab going on. Me and Saeed, more shows like this. We are in talks about doing other things as well. So get your comments in below on all topics we've talked on. Obviously, please, guys, just give a like on the way out of the show. Well over 300 now, so appreciate that, guys. Get into the likes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Follow Saeed as well on Saeed TV. He's on the way to 100k. Not far away now, Saeed, is it not?
Yeah, not far. Yeah, not far, man. Even for you, man. 50k, man. It's
coming
soon, man.
It's coming, mate. We're both hit milestones at a similar time.
yeah, definitely. Literally, like, I'm less than 5k, you're less than 5k. So yeah, man. Yeah. They got the chat, man. Like I said, we all have different opinions, but we all love United, man. That's the main thing, man. We all just love United, innit? So
that is it. 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, absolute pleasure having you all in. Fantastic chat. As divided as it is, this is what happens when things are not running right. So we just have to accept it. Everyone's got their own opinion. We're not going to agree with everyone. And let's see what happens going forward now. Onwards and upwards, it would seem. Now we can concentrate on everything else. Ten Hag has been put to bed. And it's time for Ineos to step forward. Saeed, cheers for coming on, mate. Everyone in the chat, mods, pleasure. Super chats, everyone who's got involved, thank you so much. We are out of here. Absolute pleasure as always. I'll see you all later on this evening at 6:30 for the show. Hopefully we'll get Jay on tonight as well to get some opinions on United going forward.
Jay,
and we'll hopefully see you all then as well on that show. See you in a bit, everyone.